We left off on chapter 31, Echad U'Shloshim. We read about the Torah tracing the pedigree of Moshe and Aaron. But once we speaking about Moshe and Aaron, we begin from Levi, was the third son of Yaakov. We first start with the Ruvain, who was the firstborn of Yaakov. Ruvain, who his children, grandchildren, then Shimon, then we speak about Levi. And then when we finally speak about Levi, we speak about Amram and Yocheved, Moshe and Aaron. And the children of Aaron. Elu Roshi Bosabosam, these are the heads of the families. Hischil Lesape Yechusam Biruvain. When we begin speaking the pedigree of the Jewish people, we begin with Ruvain. Klomar Shiotzim Shevet Levi Shlishi Lishmotim. Shevet Levi is the third of the tribes. Vashlishi Tomid Yosef Muchan Lekabel Ashlemus. Vavur Shu Mispar Asholim. 3 has greater relevance to achieve completion. Of course, it's considered a complete number. More complete. Why? She goes to explain. One is a single. It means single, one. So it doesn't in any way have relevance to abundance. Venu nikra mispor. Now, when we speak about when do you have to count something? If you have multiples, you have to count. You have one, there's no counting. It's there, it's one. The word comes from mispor, is from lispor, to count. So 1 is not a mispor. You have 2 is a mispor, because you count 1, 2. Umispor shnayim, eno mispor sholim. You have to count 1, 2, but it's not complete. Why? Ki ein bo ragzug, vein bo nifrad. Why? Because that's a pair. A pair means one has relevance to the other. So it's not yet, doesn't display, represent abundance. Avo shlosha bavo sheish bo zug. What's included within 3? 2, which is a pair. So you have to count for 2. In addition, there's a third. So the third means it's already abundance. Therefore, 3 is called a more complete number. When you count, 2 is made up of 2 ones, but it's a pair. So the pair unites them. It has to be counted, but 3 is not part of the pair. Therefore, it goes beyond the 2, the pair. Therefore, in terms of 3 being a more complete number, representing, everything is representing something, so it has greater relevance to achieve perfection. Therefore, Levi being the third son of Yaakov, it's more appropriate that the Redeemer should come from Levi. Because 3 has greater relevance to completion, to perfection. It says there's what yet to talk about, but now there's not the location. Moshe was the third son, was the third child, right? It was Miriam, Aaron, Moshe. Moshe was the third. One was Kabbalas HaTorah, Chodesh HaShlishi, also the third. Anything that has to do with something special, a special event, it's what in terms of shleimus. You'd see Mitzrayim was special, but it didn't bring about completion, right? We left, but that was a stage in leading to completion. The Gula was to come to Sinai, to receive the Torah. So the Torah was given the 3rd month. It was given through Moshe, who was the 3rd child of Amram and Yocheved. Both Moshe's parents. Normally, the pedigree always identifies with the father. But yet, both parents of Moshe were from Levi. This is to emphasize the value of 3, that in every aspect it's 3. Now, which children of Levi were chosen to be ultimately the link to the Goalim. Kohos. Kos was the father of Amram. Ubnei Kos, Harishon to Amram. Ubnei Amram. So what is Amram? There's Levi, Kos, Amram. So who's Amram? Amram's the third generation. And from Amram, who are the children of Amram? Who's the third child? Bnei Amram, Ashlishi, Miriam, Aaron, and Moshe. Amram, who's the third generation, because you have Amram, you have Levi, Kos, Amram. Now, of Amram, who's the third child? Moshe is the third child. So, therefore, he has relevance to greater potential. Three always has a greater capacity to achieve a greater level of perfection. When do you need, when does three have to play a crucial role? I mean, normally a person's mentored, there's environment which is conducive, and there's all levels of development. What do we have? Moshe was born, was raised in an Egyptian palace, so you need a greater capacity from who you are, because it's not coming from outside. It's like self-development, so to say. They have greater relevance. Closer from the time they left Egypt till they arrived at Sinai. 3 months. How do you go from being pagans, all of a sudden, within a short period of time, to say Nasim and Nishma? It's unheard of. The answer is it was the 3rd month. In that month, there's something innate in the month which allows for that greater capacity. But once there already was preparations to the shleimus, Tainu, Shenkvar Noda Levi, Shemuchleos Yotzim Mimer Goalim. Levi was the 3rd son of Yaakov. So therefore, Levi already set in momentum the direction of completion. Moshe was 3rd, but he comes from a 3rd, right? And his parents are the children of that 3rd. And his father is the 3rd from Yaakov, right? Levi, Kos, Amram. Not from Yaakov, from Levi. Oz ein tzorach hachona gemura mispar sholem legamri. Aval hoyo hachonosa b'shnayim bavad. She'af shnayim yesh bo k'tzas misko shizbar lamalo she mispazug. L'chein. Ben Levi Ashenu Shu Kos Muchan Lotzim Nagol. He's bringing out a good point. Who merited that the Goalim should come from him? You say Levi, he's the 3rd. So the Goalim should come, but Levi had a number of sons. Which son merited that the Goalim should come from him? Kos was not the 3rd son, right? So if Kos not the 3rd son, so how did he merit? It's not Mispar Sholem. The answer is, but since his father preceded him, right, who was Levi, who was the 3rd, so therefore, although he's the 2nd, it doesn't necessarily will prevent shleimus to emanate from him. Kikol shef shel hagdim hatov shu agula hu magdim. V'akach shehosav hachono kikos shel yesheni gamkein bo hachono. כמו שמענו למעלה, לקח לו יצורך עוד כלל לגמרי האחרון, ונוד בראשון, אס אשר רואי לוציס מן הגולים, ואמרם היה ראשון. Amram was the Bechor. Good question, right? It's true. You had Kos, you had Levi, Kos, Amram. Amram was the firstborn. Amram should have been the 3rd. It's not necessary. Because he's the 3rd in generation. So even though he's the 1st, it's not a problem, because it's what preceded him. What about when so if you have that's the case, so why did Moshe have to be the 3rd? Because if as long as 3 preceded you, it's sufficient, because you see Amram, he's the Bechor. But that's the prerequisite for the Goalim. But when you're dealing within a new level of capability, the Goalim themselves, now it's a new level of representation. So within Golim, the Goal has to be the third. So he says, Kasher nodu agolim ba'atzmam zeh malach eres ki rishon lo hoya agolim ba'atzmam rak ovos agolim. Amram was the father of the Golim. So it wasn't that important that he should be number 3. So as long as he's the third generation, that's sufficient. He was the firstborn. But until then, we were speaking about the fathers of the Golim, the antecedents. Now we're talking about the Golim themselves, the Redeemers themselves. So what number does the Goal have to be? He has to be number 3. So who's the third child of Amram and Yocheved? Moshe, Shoyer Shlishi. They have Moshe had to be the third. Kach Sofer told us Hashvotim Zachazad Levi. So it's very good. So it comes out. Why do we start with Reuven? Let's speak immediately about Levi. Reuven has no It says when we begin to discuss the pedigree of Moshe and Aaron, we have to start from the beginning. Why do we have to start from the beginning? The answer is because we're starting not to tell us who Reuven was and who Shimon was, to tell us who Levi was. The Levi is the third. It's to emphasize the number 3. Once you have Levi, so if you start with Levi, it's not that obvious that he's the third. But if you discuss first Reuven, Shimon, then Levi, he's the third. So it gives us the whole manifestation, the involvement of how the Golim came about. They're predicated on 3. There's nothing coincidental. There's nothing coincidental. You see a pattern. Anything of ultimate value and purpose it's not just random. There's no such thing random. Sinai is not a random event. Sinai was planned from pre-creation. Ultimately, there has to be a moment where there's going to be a people who's going to accept the Torah. And the people have to meet certain criteria and certain qualifications. They happen to fall into place. There's nothing which is happenstance, random, which relates to the Gula. Everything was planned. There are other aspects of this discussion which are profound and deep. Regarding the involvement, how they came about, exactly when they came about, and exactly their location and their place in the line of Klal Yisrael, Ve'el Har Yosef. There's nothing to speak more at this moment. Vani Akshes Leif Paro. What does God say to Moshe? I will harden the heart of Paro. Yishmak Shem Lomar. Hirba Kodesh Baruch HaMakos al Paro. What did God increase the plagues of Paro? So it says, L'man Revos Mosai Be'eretz Yisrael, to increase, because let's say he wouldn't have hardened, he would have sent us out. So by increasing, by taking away his choice, now he'll be defiant, it's an opportunity to bring more plagues. If not for the hardening of heart, he would have sent us out. So God wants the Gula. So he should have hardened his heart and let Paro send us out. So why is he being smitten? Why is he being hurt and pained? Seems to be it's for no reason. Okay, so the Rambam speaks about this. We spoke, and he mentions it, that his free choice was taken from him because he was defiant when he could have chosen to make the right choice. So the Maral says the question doesn't even begin. It's a baseless question. I mean, God was presented in an undeniable setting. And what does this arrogant, insolent man say? He says, Hashem Elokei Ivrim Shlochani Aleichem. God, the Lord of Israel, sent me here. So what does he say? Mi Hashem Shesh Mekolo. Who's God? He's not listed in the listing of powers, of deities. Harosha Azeh V'Amo Yegorm Shel Yed Nodesh Ma Hashem. Now, why was God not known? Who was the cause of God's presence not to be known in the world? These people. the height of civilization. They wouldn't have tolerated. What did they disseminate? What did they represent? That there was no supreme being. They were most culpable for Chil Hashem, for the desecration of God's name. It's interesting. The Chaim Voloshin writes in Nefesh HaChaim, how do you refer to desecration of God's name? Chilul, desecration. So he says, in Hebrew, the word chalal. Chalal means a vacuum. When there's a desecration of God's name, there's a vacuum. Now, if you deny God's existence, and you say it's the deities that control existence, what is that? It's Chil Hashem. What is that? There's a vacuum. You created that vacuum. When you say God is not involved, God retracts from this existence. So why does the vacuum exist? Because you deny his existence. So you've created that state of desecration. Now, how do we make God known? They cause God not to be known. He'd send them out, but 5 plagues are not enough. It should be known to the world. They have to reinstate God's presence in the world. For that you need 10 malchus, 10 plagues. But if that's the case, but how do we bring it about? If God doesn't take away his free choice, he'll send them out. So they're not going to reinstate, they're not going to repair the damage which they brought about. God says, no problem. Through you, the damage will be restored. Everything will be restored. How? Take away your free choice. But you can get all beaten up. But you're an innocent man. No, you're not innocent. Of course, until the debt is paid, until the correction has been made, you're not whole. Therefore, whatever it takes to make it whole, if it means you don't have free choice, it means you suffer, it's irrelevant. That's the way the morals are learning it. I'll give you an example. Interesting. A person borrows money. It spends irresponsibly. Can't even repay the debt. So what does the creditor do? They put him into debtor's prison, and he has to work on a chain gang. To repay that debt, he has to work for the next 80 years. The man is chained in shackles. Does the man have a choice? The man has to work day and night. They work him like a slave. But he has no choice. It's not, he could choose to earn or not to earn. You realize you created that debt, you have responsibility to pay it back. If this is the only way it could be paid back, you work on a chain gang. Smashing rock 18 hours a day. Because otherwise the debt's not going to be paid. God said, you destroyed this world. My presence in this world is an unknown why. Because you flexed your power. You were defiant to my presence. Whatever it takes that I should be restored, that I am the master, that's what I'm going to do. But if you have a choice, you're going to send them out, it's not going to be restored, I will take away your free choice. Makes sense? It's fair. For what reason? To increase the miracles in Egypt. Because why don't they know Shmi is Hashem? Because of Paro and his people. So what is the value of Revos Movsai? To restore what he took away. He created that vacuum. Tachas omro mi Hashem asher makolo. Leficha Paro lesakin masher kilkel kvar. Therefore, Paro is obligated to correct what he damaged. Ad shal yodo yednoder shmo yizborach lekachik shel libo shelo yishma leman yova yodov Hashem hey makos haksuvos. An additional 5 plagues have to be brought upon him. And only after all 10 makos, the power of God is displayed in the context of these 10 various levels, then the world will know Ani Hashem. Said it's the first reason why the question is not a question. Another reason why the question is not a question. The first 5 makos, God did not harden his heart. He had free choice. Because the difficulty with the first answer is, so why even the first 5? Why did he allow him to have power of choice? The answer is that's to make that because you're culpable. I'm bringing revealed miracles to correct what you did. Despite that, you still reject me. You will be punished for that. The last 5, now, if I keep going, you're gonna submit to me, but I don't want, because I need a setting to bring more miracles. Last 5, you have no choice. Another reason why the question is not a question. The first 5 were on terrestrial level. Hey belyon b'shamayim. V'dovzeh nizbar l'kamen eitzel biyad chazoko ubzra netuya. What's the powerful hand and an outstretched arm? It's a different expression. Hey maksu shonos kasher hey makos betachtonim. So the first 5 plagues were on the terrestrial level. Right? Dam tzvardei kinim oro dever. All plague. Right? The sheep died, the livestock died. That's all on the terrestrial level. V'odam haroshet hachtonim. Now, if you want to punish a mortal king, what do you do? What's the location of his dominion? What he rules. What does he rule? He rules humanity. So what do? You destroy humanity. You destroy his fiefdom. You destroy his palace. You destroy his armies. Okay? So the first 5 plagues, who's the leader of mankind? Who's Rosh Tachtonim? Who's the leader of the terrestrial level, the human being? But he has relevance to also the celestial, because the human being is not just a physical, intellectual animal. So the first 5, he still had free choice. And he could be defiant. Of course, as they say, you fight fire with fire. Miracles on the terrestrial level, I could deal with. Because that's within my realm of dominion. What about it's coming from another level of dominion? Another realm of existence. A human being, could a human being fight, counter an angel? It's a different realm. So the first 5, Hashem allowed him to have free choice. You have the ability. Once we go beyond the terrestrial level, it's coming from another level, you don't have the ability even to contend with that. When it started to come from the celestial and from the atmospheric level, this transcends man's ability. He wouldn't send us out because he's repenting. It's something which is beyond his capacity. God doesn't want that you should send out the Jews because you're compelled and you're forced. In truth, if he had the ability to counter the atmospheric and the celestial, he wouldn't have. He doesn't. So when God is strengthening him, then he can't. That's really what he wants to do. Not send us out. Yeah? Without free choice, that is your choice. Because the only reason why, if you would have had choice, you would have, because you couldn't deal with it. Right? A man is a bad man. And he hurts innocent people. And you go over to a person, and he's never lost a fight. And you go over to the person with a weapon and say, either you give me what you have, or I take your life. Oh, what an obedient man. He's obedient. He's docile. Because he understands. If he doesn't listen, so, right? But now, in what posture would he like to behave, this man? It's because you have a weapon. That's why he's behaving himself. God says, when I come with you with plagues from heaven and from atmospheric, you can't contend with those. But do you really want to send them out? You don't want to send them out. So when I take away your free choice, what actually is happening? Exactly what you want. That he should not go out. phenomenal. Now the playing field is straight. Even playing field. Omnom. V'shmos Rabba Parshas Bo. Ani hichbari es libo. Omer Rabbi Yochanan mikan pislun pelaminim. Lo hoysa mimenu sheyase tshuva. The heretics, they say, God is not fair. It says, God said to Moshe, I will harden his heart. Sure. God, he takes away our free choice, and then he beats us up. You see what's going on over here? So what kind of equitable God is there? This is what the heretics say. This is what Rabbi Yochanan said. Seemingly, this is a point of criticism for the heretics. This supports their position. Rish Lakish says, Yisosein PM Shalminim. The mouths should be sealed. You know something? God gives a deprecator enough rope to hang himself. As you deprecate everything, God deprecates you. Believe what you want to believe. It's all foolishness. And through that, you will self-destruct. The deprecator. God forewarns you once, twice. Third time, you've already heard. You've already defied me. So what? It's a punishment. This is Rish Lakish saying. I always give the example. A child has unlimited privileges from his father. And the child is spoiled, arrogant, rotten, disrespectful. Father says, as giving as I've been, you cross the line one more time, I withdraw all privileges. So what does the son say? And he crosses the line. He dares the father. Father withdraws, keeps his word. So what does the son say? My father is cruel. He has no right to hurt me. The father's hurting me. He's hurting him. He hurt himself. Who withdrew the privileges? The father. The son withdrew his privileges. You abuse a privilege, you lose the privilege. Hashem says, I said once, twice, I've warned you. Third time, no more warnings. But it's not fair. Well, it's not fair. You know in advance where it's going. Person comes late to a position once, twice. He's forewarned by his manager, so on and so forth. Eventually, what? They fire him. The bad people. The bad people. Why did they fire you? Because you were so productive there. You abused the privileges. Now, what you're going to want is going to be retribution for what you sinned. God already sent you 5 open miracles, which you couldn't deny. And yet he ignored it. You allowed to be stiff-necked against me, and you're not willing to retract your position of defiance. I will actually increase your level of spiritual contamination. I have hardened his heart and the hearts of his servants. That the God intensifies. It's not only what you did yourself, heaps on more contamination. Saying something interesting. A person who's basically not an evil person, what does he do? He vacillates. Sometimes he does good, sometimes he does bad, sometimes he does gray. Vacillates. So a person is always in flux. Person doesn't stay the course. The average person. Person's truly evil. What does he do? He always does evil. That's his modus operandi, only evil. He personifies evil. So a person who's always in flux, the action that he does that reflect on him that he's bad? No. It's almost like it happened. It's not emanating from his essence. So therefore the effect doesn't affect his essence. The evil man, when he does the wrong thing, where's it emanating from? Because he's truly evil. That is his essence. Therefore, what does it do to him? That evil impacts him, so the action is a more substantial action. The sin is more toxic. It's more viral. So he says, the reason why tshuva could rehabilitate a person, because it's not something which is terminal. It doesn't emanate from his essence. So if you have remorse, you're able to recover. What determines the quality of the action? Quality means negative or positive. Person is physical. There's always change. We age. We advance. Emotionally, we're at different levels. It's not considered an absolute action. He's a person that goes back and forth. He vacillates. Sometimes he does right, sometimes he does wrong. It's not etched in stone. So if you do tshuva, you're able to eradicate that wrong, because it's not something which took root. But a person's forewarned. You're forewarned. So if you know the consequence, you know everything. How do you do the wrong thing? It's irrelevant. So this is already almost like premeditated. After being forewarned, and despite that, you do it. What does that say? This is the real thing. This is emanating. This is full consciousness. This is fully deliberate. This is defiant. He was forewarned, and he didn't heed the warning. So that's called abuse of privilege. After being forewarned, you think you can have privileges. So God closes the gates of repentance for this person. And he makes his heart hard, heavy. Before that, a person does things, lives carelessly, but not forewarned. It's not defiant. Hashem is waiting for he's a Rasha. He's waiting for him to do tshuva. Waiting. Utmura. V'yishana osam elatov. Just as your actions aren't necessarily deliberate and premeditated, so what you did doesn't have that level of seriousness, although the classification is Rasha, so you're able to retract it, to rebuild it. But if the violator who violates and transgresses, it's predicated with a forewarning. This person has relevance to the oblivion, to spiritual impurity. He has no relevance to rehabilitation. When God is ready, he will bring retribution on that person. He lets the person just dig his grave deeper. And eventually, he buries him in that grave. The pit that he dug, he will bury in that pit. He says, what I'm sharing with you are deep and profound. Although it seems to be obvious, it's not so obvious. God is literally sealing all the pathways to tshuva. Shasro, shu over nire, shu chote, isichlo bedato. Vein tshuva rak letos. Shu bo min haguf, ado lo min hadeya. Das. Premeditated, that means it's deliberate. You know, it's not person, I lost it. I was suddenly taken by it. There was no suddenness. You were forewarned. Don't do it. And again you warned, don't do it. You were warned 5 times. So what is it? It's arrogance. I live my own life. I make my own decisions. Commotions bad. Lamala posuk kirin lo v'yocholechem. Lefize mashomar akosov ani akshas leiparo libo leman ros movsai. For the sake of increasing my miracles, omar lekach yikshe libo lefi Yisro b'ovloshov. Doesn't say the reason why he hardened his heart is because he forewarned him and he didn't do tshuva. Zem ibnei sheishkan tam shel yikshe libo b'shvil lemayer hutzos Yisrael. Shikash shlichos hoy b'shvil zeh. Lefichom kedei leharbos movsai akshas libo. Meaning, if that's the case, it's say the reason why I took away his ability to do tshuva is because it's classified not something as temporary. Because again, well, what's the objective? God could send aside after 5 miracles, but what is the objective? Everything we have to be rehabilitated. We have to see the miracles. So why is Hashem hardening his heart? What's the objective here for us? Let us leave sooner. But if you leave too soon, then you haven't been exposed to see my ability, who I am, what I am. I was thinking, he says that the person who's forewarned, the person who deliberately transgresses, it takes root. Because why did you do it? Because I chose to do it. It's not something which suddenly came upon me, like a sudden desire overtakes you. It was premeditated. You worked it out. So therefore, it's deliberate, it's defiant, it's even worse, and therefore, a person who violates at that level, he forfeits the ability to do tshuva if he does it enough times. Because it takes on a certain degree of permanence, the sin. It's a different level of contamination. So what about a person who does a mitzvah? Let's talk in the positive. A person does a mitzvah, what we call mitzvah sanoshim l'modo, by rote. Rote mitzvah Jew. Many Jews, they put the tefillin on, they don't think once or twice, put them on, take them off, say the Shema, say the words, and they're out the door. What is the value? What level of permanence and solidity, what solidness does that mitzvah have? It's what we call in the vernacular flaky. It's a flaky mitzvah. Doesn't have substance. But what about one prepares for the mitzvah? You think, how am I going to do the mitzvah? There's preparation. And when you do the mitzvah, you're focused and do the mitzvah with the proper intent. So this is not something which is just happenstance. So just as in the negative, it takes on a permanence. So in terms of in the positive, it also takes on a permanence. So in terms of spiritualizing you, it's a different level of spiritualization. It becomes literally part of you. The other is very superficial, right? It's like a temporary situation. Mishnah tells us in Pirkei Avos that a person whose fear of God precedes his knowledge, what is he compared to? To a tree with very deep roots that all the winds in the world cannot blow over that tree. But if a person, his knowledge takes precedence over his fear of heaven, you may have tremendous fruits growing on that tree and branches, but the roots are very shallow. The wind comes, topples the tree. So what is the rooting of a person? What is the rooting, the depth of rooting? That's Yirah Shamayim. You fear God. With the Maral, the way it explains very good. If one's mitzvah performance is predicated on his fear of God, why are you doing the mitzvah? Is it a happenstance? Is it by rote? Definitely not. It's with a deliberateness. So if it's deliberate, what is that? That means it's something which is substantial. It's something of substance. So if that's the case, that has roots. As they say, it has teeth in it, right? It's real. Therefore, even if Hashem throws you the curveball, so to say, right? You stay the course. But a person who does it by rote, Rabbi, but why? I attend synagogue every morning. Yeah, and where's your head? You're looking at your iPhone. You know, when are you getting into the office? You walk out 15 minutes before it's over, and you come 15 minutes late. But Rabbi, but I put on my phylacteries, you know, and I think I put them on right. I used to wear them on my forehead. Now I wear them only until the hairline. So I'm doing it right. Is that putting on tefillin? He's putting on tefillin, but in terms of what the neshama of the tefillin is. What is the neshama of the mitzvah? What's the soul of the mitzvah? It's the Yerushalayim. So that takes root. That affects the person. That changes the person. So people wonder, they're so-called observant Jews, but spirituality doesn't resonate with them. They have no feeling towards it. I do it because I promised my father. You know, I was raised Orthodox. I will always be Orthodox. You understand what kind of kids this person probably will have. If he's the role model of what it is, they didn't have the father you had. So you may not have the feeling, but you're going to stay the course. But your kids who see what kind of father you are, that there's no life in the mitzvah, where are they going? They're going in their own direction. Everybody is going to chart their own course. But again, what gives you the sense? The sense is if it takes root. What allows it to take root? It's not I went to day school or I went to yeshiva. It's not enough. That could be intellectual pursuit. I enjoy it. Enjoying is not sufficient. It has to be with an objective, with a purpose, with a value. It has to be infused with a spirituality, which is the Yisro. It's interesting. You read, more it tells us that Reb Chia was the uncle of Rav. Rav was the great Torah sage of the Talmud, Rav and Shmuel. Reb Chia was a student of Rabbeinu HaKadosh. Reb Yehuda Nossi, Judah the Prince. Do you know what Reb Chia did? I mean, he actually committed all the Tosefta, which is a type of brisa, to writing. Reb Yehuda Nossi committed the Mishnah to writing. That aspect of Torah Sheba'al Peh, the oral law, he compiled. Reb Chia and Reb Oshia compiled the Tosefta, type of brisa. Do you know what his profession was? He was a Melamed Tinokos. He was a Melamed Dardiki. Taught little children. There's a man who was a Torah giant. He taught little children. Small children have that kind of rabbi, have that kind of rebbe. You know what kind of role model that is? The man exudes love and responsibility and fear of God. Just by being exposed to such a man, the children, it's not the action. They see the energy. There's life to everything. Because the rabbi lives it. He's a living example of what he's teaching. But if you have a rabbi, a teacher comes, he does his job, teaches 4 hours, he's looking at his watch. And you know, he's barely tolerating the children. If a child asks a question, he puts him in his place. And he discourages the child to ask the question. So what's the potential of these children developing anything special? He put a lid on them. They're going nowhere, these kids, on many levels. Yeah. V'yashlich Aaron. What was he supposed to prove who he is? Aaron was Moshe's spokesman. Moshe would say what he had to say, and Aaron would elucidate it, articulate it, as Hashem said he should. So he was told to take the staff, throw it to the ground, turn to a snake. But these are the 3 miracles, first in front of the Klal Yisrael, then in front of Paro. Not 3. In front of Klal Yisrael was the staff, putting his hand in his chest, and taking the water, pouring to the ground, becoming blood. Shlosha osos siva kodesh baruch hu lasot from Yisro. These 3 signs They were commanded to perform before the Klal Yisrael. Lasos mate nochosh vayad mitzora. V'amayim asher yikach min hayor yedam b'yabosho. And the water should turn to blood, the water, when it touches the ground. Ulefi fnei paro l'rosa rak os echod. Which one did he perform in front of Paro? Only the staff turning into a snake. Lasos mate nochosh v'ish losis tam. Ki gimel osos. Kedei she'amidu emuna shleimo kemo shizbar lamalo. 3. Again, we have 3. 3 is mispar hasholim. Right? That's the complete number. So they should come, the Jews should believe without any doubt that Moshe is the Redeemer, he's God's representative. Kemo shizbar lamalo kach nema ve'aminu l'kol oso achron. They will believe the third one. It's interesting. It says, and if they won't believe the first 2, they'll believe the third. But it's because it's the third. That rounds it out. Avol Paro lo yev mamit chizak libo. Paro, whatever you display before him. Man, he hardens his own heart. He's not interested in hearing about it. You know, you want to teach a person Torah. You know, you want to sell a person potatoes. The man is a Wall Street person. Right? He's not a vegetable vendor. You'll make a sales pitch one of a kind. Man says, this is not my field. This is not what I do. Paro was not in the believing business. Didn't believe in God. So therefore you can present 60 signs that you're God's agent. It means nothing to the man. He will strengthen his heart. Who is Hashem? I should listen to him. That's the arrogance he had. He says, prove to me. So they proved it. So what did he say to them? You're kidding me? You're bringing coals to Newcastle. My magicians, they can do the same thing. So if that's a good question. So if he told them the reason why they performed 1 rather than 3, because they're just responding to what he asked, prove to me with a miracle that you're God's agents. They chose the snake. The snake. Why not the water? Why not putting his hand, turning leprous and then recovering? What did Hashem say specifically? The stick. The staff turning to a snake. The snake, for seducing Chava and convincing her to eat of the Eitz Hadas, he had 10 curses. 10 curses. You understand? How many plagues were there? 10. Kachish medrash shasvora nosin kach lo odif min Chava sheniskalo be'esek klolos. Kedis b'zech Sanhedrin. Chava also had 10 curses because she agreed to be seduced by the snake. Ramas lo shiovi olav yesemakos. What does the staff represent? The snake. The snake represents 10. As the snake was cursed with 10 curses, you're going to be cursed. You're going to be smitten with 10 plagues. When God punishes the evil, He disciplines them. He disciplines them with a staff, with a rod. That's how He disciplines them. Loma, why? Why a rod? The fish in Imshloch, lekelev. Shenemar, Yeshuvu le'erev, yemu kekelev. Shem shedark shel kelev lakos b'mater. How do you take a dog and make him obedient? You beat the dog. What do you beat him with? With your hand? You beat him with a stick, with a rod, right? Kachim yomelachem tinu lechem mofes hakos b'mater. The man is like a dog. He's arrogant. He's belligerent. He barks. Who's Hashem I should listen to? Understand? Show him the stick. Because he's going to get it with the stick. Like you beat a dog and only then does the dog behave. You got to beat the dog. You got to beat him. Shenemar emerald aron he lisanin man nochosh malachish v'horeg. Just as the snake when it hisses, that's the prelude to the venom accumulating in its fang before it bites. Afim lacheshes v'reges shenosein beis asurin Mlach sh'olav lahorgo, davrache ma'anochash mu'ukam, afi ma'kemes drochel. Just as the snake is twisted, the person also behaves in a twisted way. It's coiled. Leficham HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moshe Paro Mu'ukam. The man you're going to is a perverted, twisted, warped person. Shebo Lisakeim Omar El Aron V'yitles Hamate Kenegdo. Klomar Mizat Atoloke. We will stop here.